You've been coping through the pandemic or plandemic or whatever you want to call it?
Well, I've I kind of feel guilty to say, but I've been quite enjoying it because I've just been making loads of music with few distractions, and it's been quite good. And we've been mostly staying just outside Vienna in the Vienna woods, in a nice, with a nice garden and the beautiful woods. And I've just been making acid house beats in the garden shed, and it
incredible.
Really,
that sounds incredible. That sounds good. How did you get involved? I mean, there's lots of. I've done a fair bit of research before I started speaking to you, but I mean, how did you really kind of get into this? Because a lot of people that started with acid house started with punk. Is that the same for you, or did you get come in from another angle?
Yeah, I did. I was a kiddie punk. I was into punk from there was the kind of the media furore of going on, and I was like 9 years old, I think, in 1976, and I was like, who are these punks? What are these punks? Because I was fascinated by Teddy Boys, and I was fascinated by Hell's Angels. And I've recently realized that actually the kind of punk look that McLaren and Westwood evolved and created was really an amalgamation of Teddy Boys and Hell's Angels and a bit of mod. It was all stuff that was there, and they just sort of mashed it all up together. And I was always attracted to that sort of thing. That's more talking about style. The music, I was just, like everyone else in the UK, watch Top of the Pops every Thursday, and I just couldn't wait when they said, the Sex Pistols were going to be on for the first time doing Pretty Vacant. I guess that was the summer of 1977, and I was 10, and I was just hooked into the whole energy of it and everything, but remote in a remote sort of way, because obviously I was a little kid. I wasn't going to gigs, and I didn't even live in London. I lived in the New Forest, so I was kind of getting it through listening to John Peel and buying Sounds magazine. And my oldest brother was a teenager, so he was at big school and kind of joining, forming punk bands and playing at the youth club and the community centre, and I was just in it that way. And then all the other all the offshoots, the post-punk and all the random weird stuff that John Peel used to play, that was all my inspiration. But mainly, chiefly, I guess, he's my idol, Malcolm McLaren. He fired my imagination, along with thousands and thousands of other people, I guess. As I've got older, I've learned that it actually originated in the States, as all the good music seems to. Acid house originated in the States, and punk originated in the States, and rock and roll and rockabilly and blues and jazz and hip hop and techno and all of it. But I've always loved that sort of transatlantic cross-pollination of styles and ideas. And the Beatles used to steal their chord sequences of Motown songs, and it's all
it's really interesting, the Motown production and the Beatles, because you've got this high riding hi-hat in the Motown sounds, and the Beatles had exactly. I often wondered did the Beatles actually get produced by Motown, because it's so similar in sound? It's almost, and I always wondered, was there a thing there that Motown maybe couldn't admit, but they actually did produce the Beatles?
Well, I reckon that George Martin probably just studied that sound, and like
Yeah.
recreated it meticulously, or and a mixture of that, but them being like four white blokes from Liverpool that used to play rock and roll covers in Hamburg, and it's all that kind of mix and mash thing. But the other thing, talking of hi-hats, I've got some fascinating trivia for you. I used to live in Italy, and the hi-hat is called the Charleston. That's the Italian for hi-hat. And the hi-hat was actually invented for the Charleston.
Oh,
And so if it wasn't for the Charleston, like, the hi-hat is integral to house and techno and probably hip-hop and stuff too. And if it wasn't for the Charleston really must be the forerunner of a lot of contemporary electronic dance music styles.
that is a really cool way. Yeah, I've never thought about it like that, but